G'day and welcome to Ducks Ollie Gaming and Transport Fever 2. That's right, thanks to Urban Games, we have been given a review copy of Transport Fever 2 and we are going to test this game, flog it. We're going to get in the campaign, we're going to get in the free game, we're going to showcase it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to show it off as best we possibly can and possibly go broke as we're playing it and bring it to you in the way that we can only do here at Ducks Ollie Gaming. Before we get into it, a little bit of history and stuff about it. The game will be released on the 12th of December and is currently available for pre-order from Steam and other various places. But if you get it off Steam at the moment, you save 25%. So I encourage you all to head on over there and pick it up while it's on a discounted rate. We have had a lot of fun playing it already, even though we've had it for a day or so. And there are some great improvements on its successor, on what has succeeded, which is Transport Fever. There's some subtle changes, some very big changes. Overall, yeah, generally, I think it's a fantastic improvement and it's going to be a game that we're going to spend a lot of time in. Anyway, before we go any further, I think I'll just read the overview from the Transport Fever 2 website. So the classic transport simulation genre has a new gold standard with Transport Fever 2. Discover a whole new world by navigating transport routes through the land, water and air. May progress and prosperity find their way. Provide the world with the transport infrastructure it needs and make a fortune with custom-made transport services. Watch your trains run on rails, your buses and trucks thunder along roads, your ships power through the water, and your planes soar through the skies. Carry people on their way to work or play and be the reason cities grow and thrive. Deliver raw materials and goods to drive the economy, and experience the greatest logistical challenges from 1850 to the present day and build a transport empire unrivaled anywhere else on the globe. Free play offers a huge range of creative possibilities, while campaign mode rewrites transport history across 3 continents. Transport Fever 2 offers a choice of over 200 vehicles from Europe, America and Asia, modelled in extreme detail. And with the in-game map editor, you can recreate landscapes from 3 different climate zones. Finally, the realistic transport and economy simulator, along with a comprehensive modding support, round off the gameplay experience. Features of the game: free play with countless configuration possibilities, 3 campaigns across 3 continents with over 20 hours of playing time, editors for creating maps and editing saved games, 3 landscape types, moderate, dry and tropical, realistically modelled vehicles from Europe, America and Asia, a total of over 200 vehicles, trains, buses, streetcars, trucks, aircraft and ships, modular train stations, bus and truck stations, airports and harbours, realistic transport simulation including one-way streets and light signals, editable and paintable terrain with realistic effects, intuitive construction tools for building railroads and more, display important data such as traffic and emissions on separate layers, dynamic economy and city simulation, more than 10 economic chains with associated factories and goods, cities with countless residential, commercial and industrial buildings, detailed game world with physics-based lighting, individually simulated land animals, birds and fish, over 50 challenging achievements in free play mode, and extensive modding support via the Steam Workshop. Platforms is available for Windows 7, 8 or 10 64-bit and also for Linux, Ubuntu 16.04 or higher 64-bit. Minimal system requirements: Intel i5 2300 or AMD FX 6300, 8GB of RAM and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 560 or AMD Radeon HD 7850 with 2GB of video RAM. Right, that's it. That's enough talking. Let's get into it and have a look. What I think we'll do on this first episode is we'll just jump straight in and we're going to go into the first campaign. Now I've already played through the first campaign, but I'm going to reset that and we're going to play through it so you actually see how the build evolves and all that sort of stuff, and we'll just go through the basics. So as you can see here, this is in the menu. So we've got continue up here, which we normally wouldn't have. We have the campaign, free game, load game, map editor, settings and exit, obviously. So we'll cover this in another video in the settings and all that sort of stuff, but right now we're just going to jump straight into the campaign.
Mankind is constantly creating amazing new inventions. Get involved in rapid technological progress and ensure smoothly running transportation in different regions of the world.
So we have our 3 campaigns which we talked about before, and we're going to go straight into campaign 1. So we select.
In the north of Britain,
we are going to go to the
America,
mining miracle.
in the midst of the 19th century, In the Nevada territory, where until recently only a handful of buffalo grazed, nowadays it's all hustle and bustle. Beyond the Sierra and near the Carson River, gold has been found. There's supposed to be loads of it. All you need to do is dig it up. Anyone who keeps at it hard enough will be richly rewarded. What a splendid opportunity.
Sounds good to me. So let's go press that start button. So we're now going to load up Chapter 1, Mission 1. Hopefully it'll start from scratch, and we're going to get into it. So the whole idea of this is you can start off, like we said, in the early 19th century, and you progress all the way through. So you're upgrading your buses, your trucks, your trains, your planes, all that sort of stuff, from older type variants, old horse and cart, all the way through to the most modern bullet trains, all that sort of stuff. And it's great fun doing it.
Welcome to uncharted territory, newcomer. Want to get rich?
Yes, please.
Then you're in just the right place. Gold rush fever holds sway in Virginia City. And you lucky devil, you've won the mining rights for a promising claim in a poker game at the Red Dog Saloon. Soon, you'll be hauling out gold nuggets as big as a cat's head. Thanks to cleverness and luck at cards, you have a gold mine all your own. The former owner, a gal at the saloon by the name of Susie, who plays a lousy hand of poker, already took care of the groundwork. And a practical woman, she left the necessary equipment behind too. Now all you have to do is to find the mine. Get an overview and find out where the riches lie.
Okay, so like many games, their tutorials nowadays we have to go through the basic controls, all that sort of stuff. So we just use our WASD keys to move around, which is what we've just done. Tip there, click and hold the right mouse button and move the mouse to move the camera. So we're going to move the camera. That's with the middle mouse button, or the mouse wheel. So we've actually rotated, so we can rotate, and we can also tilt, and that's how we get all that. And zooming the camera is obviously the mouse wheel in and out, so we can zoom all the way out.
The entrance to the tunnel.
There we are. All right, I think the entrance to the tunnel might be this big, obvious yellow question mark.
What a promising claim. Even though only a few boulders have been mined so far, that's no reason to lose heart. You'll just have to dig deeper. You ought to get hold of some solid timber from the nearby forest, so that the fine shaft doesn't cave in. The beams will be excellent for stabilizing the tunnel. Decide where the carts should be packed with logs. Okay, so while we're doing all this, we are going to have a look at the quick controls and all that sort of stuff. So down here on our lower left-hand side, we have our accounts. That's the money we've got. And if we had $9,997,000, I think we'd be able to buy not only Virginia City, probably Carson City as well. But anyway, it tells us our earnings down here, amount of people and freight we have. As you can see here, number of cargo items transported and passengers transported. That's not what we have as the transported. In here is where we set up our lines or our routes between bus stops, tram stops, all that sort of stuff. In here is where we set up our vehicle manager. So if we go in there, we can buy vehicles, we can have a look at the train, do all that sort of stuff, and we'll see that a little bit later. Then we have our sections down here. So we have an area here for road, rail, boats, or ferries, ships, planes. We then have a terrain editor. We have the almighty bulldozer. Trust me, I get to use that a lot. And then over here, we have line statistics, vehicle statistics, station statistics, town statistics, and industry statistics. We also have down here music player. Okay, so we can get rid of the music, which is what we're going to do because it's just blaring. And we then have the time controls here, so pause, play,
and then the fast forwards. And we have the date, in-game date and time of the game. So we're January 29th, 1865. Okay, so I'll just close that off. Now up here we have our layers as well. Now they're not enabled for us at the moment. We can have a look at that a little bit later. And then up here we also have our warnings. So when we have something going wrong or something we need to do, it'll generally come up here with a warning. And then of course we have our mission window here as well. So we have the mission, it's our mission task, and then we also have bonus tasks available to us as well. So when they pop up, we'll actually get a bonus task. The guy will come on, or whoever will come on and actually tell you about it, and you go from there. So what we've got to do now is we've got to do exactly what he said. We've got to build a truck stop in the highlighted area. Right, so just drag that across here so it's out of the way a little bit. Everything's sort of drag and drop and very easy to use. Yeah, very good. So what we've got over here, we've got a little blue marker over here, and this is where they want us to build a truck stop. So we're going to come down into our road section here, and so this is what we've got. So we've got streets and we've got buildings. So obviously in the streets is where we're going to build our streets. So we've got small street, medium street, large street. So these are actual city streets. And then we have the small country road, the medium country road, and the large country road. Okay, different amount of lanes, different speeds they can be travelled on, all that sort of stuff. So we then have street modification tools. So we can actually upgrade our streets with tram tracks. Okay, not something we're going to do at the moment, but we will be doing, and waypoints. So you can reroute a line and compare it to a line like a station, as it says. Something we'll probably look at a little bit later. And then buildings. So in the buildings, this is all of them enabled at the moment. We have a bus and tram stop. We have the bus tram station. We have a truck station. We have a road depot, and we have a tram depot. So the stations here are where we pick up and drop off people, passengers, and cargo. And then we have the road depot, which is where we buy and sell buses and trucks. And then obviously we have a tram depot to buy and sell the trams. Obviously you're only going to use that if you've got tram lines in the roads. All right, so what we need to do is we need to put down a truck station. So that's this jobby here. So we're going to grab him. As you can see, we bring it out here and it gives us placement. Now, depending on where you place it, depends on how much money it costs. So if you have a lot of elevation and things like that, it can actually get a lot more expensive to plop it down. But it is very simple. So we just use the mouse to do that. Now, the N and M keys are what actually rotate it. So we can rotate that around and do that where we like. Now, first thing you'll notice is it gives you those little blue icons there. That's showing pedestrian access. So that means if we place it there, pedestrians will access the truck stop. But it doesn't mean the trucks will, because it's not connected to the road. If we bring it down here further, as you can see, it's now connecting to the road. It's created an intersection, and we should be happy days there. And we can bring it all the way down here, but it must be connected to the road. Now, the other thing you have to be aware of when you're actually placing stuff in this game is you may actually have to make a decision to place a truck stop or a train station or whatever else and take out some of the property that's here. Now, there is an RCI index for all your property for your cities, and we'll get to that again later. So there's residential, commercial, and industrial. So you can actually see what sections of your city are exactly those three areas, and then also you can see the demands for each of those and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, we digress. So we're going to put this down here, 75,932.
Explain to the sort of thick-skulled driver which route he should take.
Okay, so task completed, build a truck stop. Excellent. So now we've got to explain to the sort of, as he just said, thick-skulled driver. Nice. Establish a new line which runs from the new stop to the existing stop near the mine. Right, now it says, here's a tip, and it goes, create a new line in the highlighter window. Thanks very much. So this is the highlighter window. So this is our line manager. So what we're going to do, obviously we're going to create a new line. So create the new line. Now all we've got to do is we've got to click on the stations to add. Now it gives us our color, but we can choose the color. So I might want to pick my duck sorley orange, and that's what color my line is going to be. Now we need to go from the one truck stop to another truck stop, and there's the other one up there. So all we need to do is with our left mouse button, we click on the truck stop. There we go. So first stop is Virginia City Branch, and then we can go over here and click on the second truck stop.
There's got to be a small depot to park the horse-drawn carts too.
Okay, now what you've also got is some of these truck stops and train stations have multiple terminals, right? So as you can see here, Terminal 1, Terminal 2. So you can actually adjust, so you're not sending all your trucks or your buses or your trams to the one terminal. So keep that one in mind as well. Right, to buy, it was telling us then in the tip to buy a truck or a bus, we have to go to the bus depot, well, the truck depot. All right, the other thing is over here, load if available. All right, so we have load if available, full load any, and full load all. Okay, so just different options you have. You then have no filter, so look at the filters. So you can actually filter out what you want your truck or whatever else to actually pick up. So for instance, if we don't want it to pick up passengers, for instance, we can turn off the passengers as the loading event there. If we don't want to receive passengers, we can press the unload, get rid of the unload as well. So some nice little flexibility options there for your lines. Anyway, so we've now got that set up. So line 1 has been saved, it's all ready to go. We're going to come out of here. You must first build a depot for road vehicles. And strange enough, we've got a little blue marker here for a bus or truck depot. So we're going to go again into the road area. And we're going to go find our road depot, which is just here. Click on that. And again, similar to that, as you can see, we've got the pedestrian access has been enabled. But we need to plop that in and tie it into the road network. And so we're going to do that.
Everything's all set. Now, all you have to do is to get hold of a cart to transport the wood.
Okay, nice and simple. So what we need to do is buy vehicles. So we've clicked on the depot, okay? It comes up with the vehicle manager. Again, what this is now going to tell us is going to tell us the lines we have available. So line 1 is that line we just created, but we're not going to go in there. We've got to go to Virginia Road. This is going to tell us where we've got the vehicles. And you also notice we can't buy any vehicles from the line, strangely enough. So Virginia City Road Depot, and we can actually rename that. Okay, so if we want to, we could name that whatever we like to. We're going to name that Duck Zorley Transport Inc. like so, and there you go. So we can rename the buildings and all that sort of stuff in it. So that's another good tip and trick. All right, so buy vehicles. So in here, this is going to tell us all the information about the vehicles we can buy. So currently we've got all selected. So it's going to select all passenger and cargo vehicles that are available to us. And at the moment, we've only got the horse-drawn carriage and the American horse-drawn carriage. Okay, we have the horse-drawn carriage, which is passenger, and the American horse-drawn carriage, which is cargo. So we are doing a cargo delivery, so we need the cargo. Now, down here, for the quantity, you can select the quantity. You can either use the up-down arrow, or you can actually just highlight it and type in how many you want to buy. Okay, you don't want to do that. We want to do that carefully, because in one of the games I was playing before, actually, instead of typing in 10, I typed in 100. So as you could probably imagine, I didn't realize that. Just added them all to the line, and I had lots of horses and carts running around my city. Anyway, what it also gives you the information for the American horse-drawn carriage. So it tells me that it's $23,890 to buy. It's going to cost me $3,982 a year. He does a top speed of 18 kilometers an hour. The engine type is a horse, strangely enough. Power, 2 kilowatt. Not sure it'd be 2 kilowatt. I think it might be 2 horsepower. Capacity 4. That's how much I can carry. Cargo type is wood or logs. Loading speed is 1 times. Emission 64. Obviously, that's them. Yeah, anyway, won't go there. Weight, 1.5 ton. The build date. So this is available for building between 1850 and 1905. And the lifespan is for 3 years. All right. So we're now going to come in here. We can buy 4. So we buy that.
Vehicle. The transport can get started.
All right. Awesome sauce. Now, down here, we've got the road vehicle. That's what we want to look at. So we're going to select the road vehicle. We're going to come up here. We've got options. We've got set line, sell the selected vehicle, clone the selected vehicle, configure maintenance for selected vehicle, and set color for selected vehicle. All right, so let's just go to the color first. Let's make him orange, right? And then we're not going to sell it. We're going to set the line. So we come in here, we select line 1.
It won't be long.
Automatically appends it to the line, and off it goes.
Well then, good luck.
All right, so where are we? He should be coming out of here. In fact, no, he won't be, because we're still on pause, and it'll tell me if I'm not careful. And here he comes. Now, the graphics on this game are fantastic. Look at the details. Saddler, leather goods, horse, wagons, and bridles. Right, what we can also do is we can click on there and we can actually follow his progress. And we can keep this up in the window if we like. We can pin it there, all that sort of stuff. We can actually follow him like we've just done now. Right. And then if we really want to, we can also go to the enter cockpit, or that's what they call, and we can actually be on the top of the horses and we're riding along. So he's going to pull in here. This is where our logs are. That's where we'll be dropping off. He's going to head up to the lumber yard, pick up some logs and then come back. And there he is there. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow him up there. We're just going to fast forward though. He's going to scamper on up here. As you can see, the town or the city is quite busy. We have people, all independent AI people running around, doing odd jobs, going to their work, going home, all that sort of stuff. So it's fantastic. Attention to detail and just the look of the game is fantastic. Really, really am enjoying it. Alright, he's in there now. Now when we're placing...
Not everything that glitters is gold. Maybe your poker partner was sharper than you thought. Despite all the hardship, the mine only brings in a few chunks of silver ore. At best, you ought to get rid of it before it ruins you. Luckily, you greenhorns constantly get stranded in Virginia City, who you can peddle that confounded pit to for good money. So, you got rid of the silver mine for a decent amount. Time to invest this money in a lucrative venture. And there's an excellent opportunity. All the ore from the mine must be transported to the silver mills down by the river. A railroad that takes over the transport would be a promising venture.
Okay, so he's done that. He's done his wood delivery from over here up to here to the mine and got the mine going. So that's all well and good. Now, the other thing I did want to mention quickly, when we have our truck stops now, they have an area of influence. So as you can see here, this truck stop here has an influence over this area over here. It also has an influence in here. So this will actually pick up products from the mine and it'll also provide products to the mine. So we need to make sure that when you're plopping these down, it's actually going to attach in the area of influence to the area you need it to be. Anyway, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put a train station in. We're going to go buildings. I'm going to skip across this and get this done relatively quickly. Right, and this doesn't want to line up. Cargo terminus station is what we wanted. Okay, we've got to select the variant that's not that long. So there we go. Right, so that's what our help was. So over here, when you have the station out, you've got to select the length and the amount of tracks. So I can go at 8-track station if I wanted to, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go 1-track station, and 120 meters what the game was telling me we need to do. And there we go. He's going to snap in place. Down it goes.
Terrain is treacherous. Requires a few very twisted curves.
Right, so now we're going to place the rail line. So again, we come into our rail section. We go over here to tracks this time. We have tracks, signals, and waypoints. But we're going to go to the tracks area and we're going to place our tracks. Now for placing the tracks, basically what we do is we have our little icon down here, which will, once I've positioned myself a little bit better, a little pointer icon there. So what we do is we go to a node of where we want to collect. We press and hold the left mouse button and then we drag. And that will drag out the line. It'll do any terrain modifications it needs to do and then it'll snap to the next node you're connecting to. You'll then release the left mouse button and then press the tick button and that'll place the road down. So again, and the same thing, left click and drag and that will connect through there. We press the tick and then that's all done. Okay, so we're going to go across a chasm here. Hopefully it's going to build as a nice bridge. So we go across again, provides a nice smooth transition, puts the bridge in place, and you'll see it's a lot more expensive because we're paying for the bridge. And you've got different options for the bridge. So there we've put a trellis in. Do we put a trellis in? I think it's meant to be a trellis, isn't it? Oh no, it's a rock. It looks like it's a rock. Tell me. No, it's no bridge. It's filled it up with land. Then we have a stone bridge. There you go. All right. Reading for the win. All right, there we go.
Build a railroad route that rapidly transports all the ore to the valley.
Alright, so we've got to build a railway route from Virginia City to Carson City. So again, we're going to go to the route section, new line, click on stations to add. We're going to click on that station there, Virginia City, and then we're going to click on this one up here.
A respectable railroad calls for a proper railroad station.
There we go. Right, now, same as what we did for the trucks and buses, we need to put in a depot. So we go to the buildings, we've got a train depot here, and we are going to bring that in, put that in there.
Truly well done structure. Now it just needs to be connected.
So we're going to connect it into the line. Again, when we're connecting lines, we just bring it down and it'll snap at certain points. Can be a bit fiddly sometimes, but that's
It's
okay.
high time
Bit of
to buy a
perseverance and you'll be
beautiful
okay.
locomotive together with a few freight cars.
Alright, so we need to click on the depot and buy a locomotive and 3 freight cars. Click on the depot. We want line 2 is what we're going to be using. Right, we want to buy a locomotive and we want to buy 3 freight cars. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. I want to buy that train.
What a handsome
Done
iron
that.
horse.
We then want
Time
to assign
send
it.
on its maiden journey.
Yep, thanks very much. We want to assign it to line 2, so we're going to do that.
Ore
There he
transport is
goes.
picking up speed. With a little luck, it'll make you richer than all the silver in Nevada ever could.
Alright, there he is. And we're still running on fast speed, so it's going to get there as quick as it can and then take off again. What we might do is, while it's on the trip to Virginia City, we might actually just hop in and have a look-see. Now, it'll be a fast-forward mode. We'll just enjoy the view. But it does look very, very nice. Now, obviously, as we build and progress, we're going to do things.
Deed is done. First train is rolling down the line. People are dropping everything to cheer your marvel of engineering. Don't pass up the chance to climb aboard. Give them a friendly wave.
There you go. We're giving them a friendly wave. Yeah, so as we progress, we've got to go through building up. We've got to do passing loops. We've got to do sidings. We've got to do double track, triple track. All the signals associated with it to control the trains, all that sort of stuff. So it can be quite complex as you start to build up. When you've only got an A to B type scenario, it's not too bad, pretty easy. But when you start sort of mingling different cargoes in, going different places, sharing lines, all that sort of stuff, yeah, that's when the fun really starts to begin. Alright, we're getting close to the end of the episode. Hopefully we're going to be close to the end of the
Thanks to
campaign
your
as well.
railroad, silver smelting is moving fast and furious. Meanwhile, all sorts of fine ladies and high-class gents get off in Carson City. Make sure they don't ruin their good shoes on the muddy streets. Find out about the needs of your future passengers.
Okay, so we've got to activate the land use layer. So up here are the layers, as we said before. So we've got up here, we've got the terrain, we've got, I think that one was water. We have a land use, I can't remember what that one was. We then have destinations, cargo, stations, traffic, noise, emissions, I think that was. And then we have the HUD icon filter. But we want to go to this one here.
Your services are needed to the same degree everywhere in town.
Okay, so we've got to build a bus stop and buses get going here in Carson City. And as you can see, as I said before about the RCI, this is the residential, commercial and industrial sections. So, similar to another game we've played, residential being green, commercial being blue and industrial being yellow. So what he wants us to do now is put a bus stop here and here and here, and then get buses going. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to come down here to road, and select our tram or bus stop. Now, one of the things that they've done with this version of the game as opposed to the last one is they've made it very, very clear which direction the bus, the truck, the train is going to be going when you put down signals, track, all that sort of stuff. Bus stops, truck, all that sort of stuff. So as you can see here, this is telling us that the the bus is going to be going from right to left. If we go on this side, it's going to be going from left to right. So we're going to put it on this side here, and that's all set. We're going to come over here. Now, I think we're going to be going up this way, so we're going to put it on the right-hand side. And then up here, I think we'll also put that one on the right-hand side.
Make sure your coaches don't miss any stops.
Okay, so now we have to set up a line. Now, we need to go line, new line. And again, as we did previously, it's select each of the lines, like
Build
so.
a depot where the horses can be hitched up and the coaches can wait.
Done that, and now what it's telling us to do, we need to get a depot. Now we need to find a selection of where we're going to put the depot. So if we go in here, I'm going to select the road depot, and we're going to rotate that around. I don't think he's told us that to go anywhere particular, no. What we're going to do is we're going to put a smack bang in here, just to show. So, as you can see, that one building will be removed. If I have too far over here, one building will be removed. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll just sacrifice the one building, join it to the road.
Purchase a few coaches with horses so that you can get started.
Right, purchase some coaches. So we need 3 horse-drawn carriages. Passenger. There we go. I'm just going to show you. So we can go press the 3 key. We've got 3 there. Buy them in one go. Now, as you can see here, we've got multiple vehicles. So how do we assign them to the line? We can go in, add them individually. Or what we can do is just select them all, or alternatively select them all that way. That's an easier way to do it. And then go in here, line 3, because it's the yellow line we want.
Great.
And then off they go.
The first passengers are already waiting.
Nice and simple. Alright, so they're off and running. Let's have a look. Where are they?
The Territorial Enterprise reports. A beast is up to no good in the area. According to eyewitnesses, it leaped from tree to tree, was at least 10 feet tall, had a shaggy black pelt, and enormous feet. Now, ask the reporter what it's all about.
Well, so this is one of our bonus tasks. So we can either choose to do this or we can just decline it. We're going to do it just so we can show you.
The reporter, a certain Mr. Clemens, has revealed his source to you. An old good-for-nothing by the name of Sam Hawkins. He's supposed to be in the saloon in Virginia City. Could be it means buying him a couple of shots of hard liquor before he comes up with the truth.
Now, as you can see, as we said previously, the big yellow question mark sort of gives it away. So we come over here, click on that.
Not too long ago, there was nothing more than a dreary two-bit town. A magnificent little city now flourishes, thanks to your transportation services. The locals even call it the miracle of Carson City. More and more people want to try their luck there. Obstacles shouldn't be put in their way. Get into the passenger business. Your tickets will be the hottest item in town. Make sure that the rest of the world is finally connected to Carson City, a veritable boom town.
Okay, so now we've got to build a passenger train. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look. Where is our residential section here? Right, it's all up here. So this is where we're going to get biggest bang for buck. So what we're going to do is I'm going to, in fact it's not going to let me though, I was going to build a little road in here. What we'll do instead, where we're going to go? We're going to go to Reno, which is over here. Oh, we're going to go from Carson City. That's even better. Alright, that makes more sense. So here we go. So we're going to get in here, we're going to get our building, we're going to get a passenger terminus station. Rotate that so it slots in and connects. Now here we obviously don't need road to connect, so we just need the passengers to connect in. And so we can do that there. And then we're going to come down here. And we're going to put a passenger station. Passenger station is already there, isn't it? Yep. Alright, so we've just got to connect the line. Whoops. So we just go in here, grab our tracks again, and we're just going to bring it all up here. Now, normally the other thing too is when we're doing all this, you'll be looking at the terrain, because the terrain will directly relate to the cost you're going to have for your company when you're laying the track. So you use the terrain tool to actually find the most level route between 2 points.
Buy a train arrangement that brings people from all over the world to Carson City.
Yeah, so you're gonna build that, and then what you're going to do is you need to make sure that by doing so you're actually minimizing the cost. So as you can see there, the higher up I take that, so the more terrain deformation it's got to do, generally it'll actually cost more to build. So that's why we look at the terrain layer when we're building our tracks. Alright, so I'm just going to put this in here. We don't have to really worry too much about the detail for that one. There we go. Another locomotive and 3 passenger carriages. So I'm going to go in here, buy vehicles. We want a train and we want 3 passenger vehicles. Buy that.
Time to inaugurate the line from Reno to Carson City, the town built on silver.
Alright, now there's a question mark, so we're going to do that as well while we're here.
Old Cartwright and his son didn't take too kindly to your visit to the Ponderosa Ranch. Apparently you're not the first to be hot on the monster's heels. The rancher claims that dozens laid siege to their land, but just when he was about to run them off, they hurried away towards Lake Tahoe with a paper hot off the presses in their hands.
Okay, so he just built the line while he was talking. So we've got the train line here. He's heading off, going to do the passengers. So while he's off doing that, we're going to finish off, get this next clue. Big yellow question mark again.
The Territorial Enterprise reports. The wild man is dead. His body was committed to the waters of Lake Tahoe, where it will sink to a depth of over 600 feet. Be encased, motionless in a block of ice, and shrink to the size of a small child due to the high pressure.
There you go.
Guess not much can be done about that.
Alright.
There's firewood up in Glenbrook that'll get the steam engines in the Silverworks puffing real nice. But watch out that you don't cross paths with the Cartwrights from the Ponderosa Ranch. They're not the kind of folks to tangle with.
Right, we're not going to worry about doing that one in this playthrough. We're just going to get this finished off because we are well over our 30 minutes now. And we're going to have more stuff to play with as we continue looking at this wonderful new upcoming release from Urban Games, Transport Fever 2. So our passenger train is just heading in here to Reno. I don't know how many passengers he's got. He's got no passengers, so we're taking passengers from Reno to Carson City, hopefully. There we go, we've got 1 passenger. Alright, that was well worth all the money spent. Off he goes. But as you can see, as we're doing this, all the other stuff is still happening. So we've still got the train bringing up the, what was it, the silver up to Carson City. He's still going around through there. We've still got our buses running around Carson City, and the city will actually build up. The more and more that actually goes on, the more that actually the cities will grow and all that sort of stuff. So you're sustaining the cities as you're developing them. So he's just heading up there. Alright, so while we're here, we'll just have a look at some of these other layers. So the stations. This shows you what are crowded and what aren't. So at the moment, all our stations are very good up here in Carson City, which is good. We can then have a look at our destinations. Public transport destinations. So it gives you low and high. So the darker or the brighter the green, the more the destination is in use, in demand, and lighter. So it's pretty low at the moment because we haven't got that many people here. And private transport. So your private transport's going to be transporting things like stuff in between all the RCI areas and all that sort of stuff, but not stuff we have to worry about for the moment. Cargo. So the cargo, again, similar, will tell you the color code. So transport, so it's telling you the cargo transport through there. It's also telling you cargo transport through there for our logs up to our silver mine. So that's all well and good. We then have what's the next one? Destinations. No, we've already done destinations. We did the stations. The HUD icon filter. So with this, what we can do is we can actually remove certain aspects from the HUD. So we might, for instance, want to remove all of the buildings. We do that. We might want to remove all the HUD icons for vehicles. We can do that. Or you might just want to remove the trains. So you can do individually or as a group. You might want to remove all the income and expenditure text that comes up. So as we are driving around and stuff, you'll see that we can actually, the text comes up saying how much money we've made from passengers or from dropping off cargo, and also how much we've lost in maintenance costs and all that sort of stuff as well. So it's a very complex game, but it is being done very, very well, and this is going to be a wonderful game again from Urban Games. So congratulations to the crew there for putting out a wonderful successor to Transport Fever, and it's something that I think will do them very, very well in the future. Like I said, at the moment it's open for pre-order on Steam with 25% off. So head on over and grab it from Steam before you have to pay the full retail price. I believe it's going to be on that pre-purchase price up until the 11th of December, so the day before the game is released. But I can't confirm that 100%. Alright, so we dropped off a few more passengers in. Alright. So our industry statistics. So this shows us our requirements, the product and the production. So that's all well and good there. Again, we can look at these a little bit later. Town statistics. Having trouble with that word tonight. Carson City growth, cargo. That's all well and good. We then have our station statistics. So it's telling you maintenance costs, telling you the cargo. Then we have our vehicle statistics. This is telling you what's profitable. So at the moment, the most profitable is actually the silver train. So it's hauling from Virginia City to Carson City, so that one's actually okay. And the least profitable is our passenger train going between Reno and Carson City. So we can amend that. And the lines, again, we can come in here, we can see the lines. So we've got 3 trains, for instance, on that line. No, 3 passenger, 3 cargo wagons on that one, 3 passenger wagons on that one, and it tells you the money they're actually making. It tells you also the frequency of how often they are in at the station as well, which is very, very good. Alright, so now we are just waiting for it to trickle in.
We're off and running. Everyone is dead set on riding your beautiful railroad.
Just one more person. Oh, I thought I'd turn the music off. Right. Obviously restarted again. Didn't even notice. I was too enraptured in the game to notice the music came back on. Anyway. Alright. Let's see. This dropping off of the train here should give us the final step, I believe, in this campaign. Here he comes, coming into the station now. Made a little bit of money. Oh, we've got to do 20 passengers to Reno as well. So we've got to take one more down to Reno. Alright, come on. Alright, I think you get the idea. I think by the time I do the sign off, it'll be back in there and all finished off. So Transport Fever 2, a fantastic game. It builds on the success of Transport Fever. It's a great game. If you like these sort of sim city building type games, the economic challenge, all that sort of stuff, you'll enjoy this. It's got a nice, fresh, modern look, and it just plays so well. A lot of the subtle improvements are there, and a lot of great improvements. Obviously, there's not anything available on the Steam Workshop as yet, But as time goes by, when the game's released, I would expect a lot of the wonderful modders that supported Transport Fever will support Transport Fever 2 and be producing all your favourite trains, whether they be American, Asian, British, European, and all the cargo and that associated with it, and have those available for your pleasure as well. About to hit Norino. There he goes. Okay, so that's the end of campaign number 1. We got there. So yeah, Transport Fever 2 releases on the 12th of December. Make sure you head out and grab it. Thanks again to Urban Games for giving us this early access. We will be bringing more videos to this over the coming days, including a sandbox gameplay where we actually just sit there and just explore and build our cities and our industrial megalith as we go along. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Press that like button if you like the video, and don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you again very, very soon back here at Duxolly Gaming and Transport Fever 2. Thanks very much for watching. See you all later. Bye.